think everything sounds good. So, we are back here for another episode of the Too Many Ideas podcast. Today, we got Luke here, me here, Mars. We got B here. She was here for one of our episodes previously. We also have Don here. This is my fiance. And
guys,
today, we're going to get into a movie discussion. Been wanting to do this for a little while, but just wanted to start with like some music topics because that's what we all kind of like know a little bit more. But I kind of wanted to get into a discussion specifically about black film, black art, black actors, black actresses, all that kind of stuff. Like that, I wanted to go in that direction at least. You know, we can range out a little bit more, but in that kind of vein. Because I remember that conversation that we was all sitting there having at your birthday about, what were we talking about?
It was at the.
We was talking about.
Oh no!
You were arguing for Lakeith Stanfield, and I think I was arguing for like John David Washington, and we were just like talking about Zendaya and all that kind of stuff about like how good of an actress or not good of an actress she is, and all that kind of stuff like that.
But yeah.
Okay.
Have we all seen Malcolm and Marie now? That's far.
Did you ever watch it?
No, I didn't.
No. But I actually wanted to bring up your Lakeith point because even though I feel like he didn't make the best argument, I do agree with you now because I looked at like the other stuff that he did. I didn't know I didn't remember that he was also in Selma, and also in Knives Out, and there was one more that was like really good
Knives Out,
that I forgot that he was in. That he
Damn,
did like
a
a really good role.
He was like barely in Knives Out though.
No, he was in there.
He was in the whole movie.
He was the assistant detective.
I know, but to me, he didn't stand out in the movie. You know, like he was there. He was supporting. He was a support of a support, in my opinion.
See, he even in that movie, that's not like the best example because he was still comedic relief in that movie. But in Selma, I think he had like a pretty solid role in Selma. And then also like, of course, you know we know Sorry to Bother You. And I was just watching like I can't remember if it was a TikTok or something on Instagram about Sorry to Bother You, and how like. Someone was basically talking about something that I thought as well, like how the whole horses thing, like really like ruined it.
Yeah.
At the end, like it just hit it like way too on the nail. Mm-hmm. But like, even still, like that was like a really like great movie. And I guess in comparison from him and John David Washington, I feel like now I can probably agree with you. They're a little bit more comparable. I'm not putting John David way above him like I was when we was first talking about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was above just because I don't feel like he has the
diversity.
No, or the just like he hasn't been acting that long. I feel like Lakeith has a lot more.
He doesn't have the catalog.
Yeah.
And even within the films, can you see John David Washington in a comedy?
Yeah, he was in a comedy, kind of, sorta, in The Black Klansman. It was,
dark
I mean,
comedy.
That goes back to the argument between us and Lakeith. That's my point. Like a real comedy, though. Like, I feel like we've seen Lakeith in several real comedies.
Well, then to Duncan's point, he doesn't have the longevity to see him in that role yet. If he's in a comedy, I feel like then you can make that comparison, but he has to be in the comedy first.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he couldn't be. Like, I feel like he has. I feel like he's a good actor from what I've seen. I just haven't seen a lot yet.
I'm not sure about the whole comedy thing.
He wasn't in a comedy because I used to love the show Ballers on HBO.
Oh yeah, he is in that show. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of like some bigger thing. I didn't really like that show. But it is a comedy, but I don't know if he was like super funny in that. Like, honestly, but Lakeith can do the comedy thing.
Yeah,
I still want to see him in something even more serious than what he's been in, though.
Oh, have you guys seen Judas in the Black Messiah yet?
Yeah, that's what I do about. Yeah.
Oh, how do you forget about that?
The thing is, you said this all at the table.
Like, we didn't say Judas.
No, she did. She said, "Do you remember?" And then we all said, "Yeah."
Well, it didn't come out yet.
No, I'm saying like what he was gonna be in.
Oh yeah.
We talked about that.
Well, I'm talking about it from
the sense of actually him
like,
being in.
Seeing it, like and how good he did in that role. Like,
yeah, he did really good.
Yeah, he was real solid. Like.
Yeah, I really didn't like him, so he did a good job then.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he played that role.
I think he has a really good like. He's a good like diverse actor, like we said. Like, so I agree.
Speaking of Judas and the Black Messiah and like star role Daniel Kaluuya,
love him.
Thank you.
What is up with like outside of John David Washington and outside of Lakeith Stanfield? How come all of our black actors are all British niggas? Like all British niggas. Like really think about it.
With my mom earlier today because she's like, "Have you seen the movie Harriet?" I was like, "No, I didn't watch it because I'm tired of British people, playing like Black Americans." She was like, "Well, I'm pretty sure some Black Americans tried out for the role, didn't they?" I was like, "Yeah." So I'm like, "All right then." So whoever did the best got it.
Who's in Harriet? I
I forgot her name. She was some British comedian that got a little flack before the movie came out for having like relatively like racist jokes about like black people.
Mm-hmm.
But then she's a comedian, so it kind of got brushed out.
I never watched that.
But basically, my mom's whole point was like black is black. But I was like, is it though? Because
I feel like they are more distinguished. But I would say for Dan Clue, he's very, very good. And he's like his accent in the Judas and Messiah was like top.
That's the thing. They never have accents.
Don't you think it's easier to act something that you're studying?
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like the whole Daniel thing is easier. It's easier for someone outside to act it rather than be it.
Oh, so basically because he's British, he can act American better than...
I mean, I feel like that's why it's so easy for them. And I feel like our Western culture is fucking influential all around the world. So, I mean, I feel like the same thing, not to bring up music, same thing with rap, with that side of the world sounding just like us, just with an accent. Like, that's literally it.
Yeah, that's true. And that's happening a lot more recently just because, like, I feel like grime was before grime. Like, I feel like grime had an influence over here versus,
I get
the other kind of way around. But it's just like, I'm trying to think of more black actors, actresses that are actually, like, from here that are really big. You know what I mean?
One thing I think B could probably even dive into more, and that's like a diversity issue. I think our black actors are really typecasted, and it's easier to get someone from on the other side of the world because they don't have a perception yet. Daniel, Lakeith, these people don't really have a big like. Yeah. We can see them only in this type situation.
He's not British, is he?
No, I'm saying we're saying people that don't have like an image that we like essentially.
I can dive in only because you guys haven't seen that movie One Night in Miami yet.
No, I didn't. Yeah, I decided not to watch it.
But basically, the guy that played Malcolm X is also a British guy. I remember reading his article because I did really good in the movie. He said that a lot of actors, like of any race, specifically like black actors, come to America for roles because their typecast, racism is so strong in Britain that they can't get no type of good role.
Oh yeah, she told me that. I remember that. Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
And so then I can think about you coming all it's like that whole like. I don't say refugee, but like you're coming over here to start something. So you probably go a lot harder than people that were born here and raised here.
And usually, but my thing is with them. I guess it would be nice to watch a documentary for them. I don't know if it's harder for them or easier for them. You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's harder for them to get a role than an American? I'm not sure.
Well, I think the issue to that point, I feel like when it comes to black anything, there's always one or two. There's never a lot, and that's what the issue is. Because to me, like there are plenty of good actors, but because they're a black actor, they can't be.
Just that there are less roles in general for black actors and actresses. But it's weird because I feel like I know more black actresses who are American than I know black actors that are American, and I've always wondered why that is. Why it's the men more than it is the women. Like why?
Wait, you think you know more men actors than women actors?
Women actors than men
actors.
actors.
American.
Oh yeah, I think that's easy.
Actors.
Why is that?
Yeah,
because I think it's easy to depict a woman. You can throw her in any situation, which is becoming a thing now. It's extremely easy to tell a girl to act like this or do this, and we're gonna like it.
And there's more roles for women
and then
play.
Usually black women, it's not like it's gonna be a great role anyways. It's gonna be most likely degrading. So yeah, sign that up.
I was gonna say that. I mean,
I'm just being blunt though. Like, it's easier to throw them in those roles, which isn't always the case because they want to be taken seriously as well. But I'm just saying it's easier for them. Usually, I don't know with the women especially. To me, every actor is about their comfortability, but I think for women especially, it's about their comfortability. Like where they draw the line. And I feel like a lot of women want to be taken seriously, so they take those type of roles or roles that might be less of what they want to do, and then they grow forward. I can't remember who me and B was talking about recently that had a crazy jump.
It was Regina King, the one who directed One Night in Miami.
Exactly.
I was like, she
started from nothing essentially, side roles, seen on the screen barely.
Back in the 90s where she was in all those old movies and she was just
as the side character.
See, that's
one
my
line,
point.
2 line here.
She wasn't. I wouldn't say she was seen as degrading, but she wasn't seen as nothing special. Just a black girl. That's the black films. That's it.
Yeah, that come up took a lot longer for her than I think.
Most definitely.
And that's another thing about it. Like these British black actors, they come over here and it's just instant. They're in something big or something major, something that people are watching and knowing.
But I think there's something else going that we're missing. That's why I can't really speak on who gets what role because I would agree from the outside in they are getting a lot of roles and star roles like this. Yeah. But I feel like there's something we're missing. Maybe Hollywood isn't in LA no more.
I mean, not even that. I also think that they kind of like are getting their start over there in roles over there, just like kind of like how Daniel Kaluuya was in Black Mirror, you know. And dang, what's the other brother's name?
I will say one thing: a lot of these actors from Britain are like trained actors. You know, a lot of actors here, you know, just kind of just do whatever audition they can.
I think I agree with that point.
Yeah,
as well.
but most of them like have been to like acting school. Most of them start off in theater, so they have this like training, which I think it does better benefit them to come over here.
And I think we look at their success higher than our own. That's what I was about to get at. Piggybacking off of her, like, oh, you went to the school of blah 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 in Britain, whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I might take you a little bit more serious than rather than you went to school in LA for this, you know what I mean? I feel like they might deem it a little bit more successful.
Looking at it like from the overseas perspective, it's something like they're doing more over there than like what we are doing over here. It kind of keeps them. It kind of gives them a better image. Yeah. Just like right off the bat.
Yeah, and then of course to the point like they're guys, so usually like when it comes to men, it's just like actors like they get that one good role and then just in everything. Yeah. But I think women, to your point, a good point is even Viola Davis. Like she didn't get her big thing until Hagway Murder in like 2014. She was like in like her mid to late 40s. Now she's up and up, and even then she still talks about how she doesn't get paid the same, she doesn't get treated the same. And I can only imagine, you know, really even Lakeith's a good point. He's everywhere, you know, and to me he's always had the same aesthetic in every single film. Looking at Viola Davis's like discography, like she looks different. Like, she gains weight, she loses weight, she does this. So I think enough. Women go through the hoops, one because of their gender, but then two, I think that helps them later on because since they do anything.
I think it's just I don't think this was your point, but I think it's just harder for a woman to go from a side role to a main role because they just get. I feel like actors go through this in general, but I just think it's harder for a woman to go from that side role or those 2-3 lines, which you might even like in the film, to be a main role, to have a real purpose in these films.
Yeah, I think typecasting is a real thing, like in general in the industry, but I think it's definitely like heavy in like when it comes to Black people in films. Yeah, especially when you start off like in a lot of like Black films, they'd be like, okay, we're just gonna put you in that. Exactly. You know, we're not gonna look at you as this other like main person.
I mean, I would say the majority of Black actors are in Black films. Like if you like look at like BET, right? Y'all know like Ryan Destiny, right? Yeah. Like she was in this film. It's like A Girl Like Grace or whatever, and it's like on BET, but it's like she was on her way, I feel like, to being like a star, and then she kind of got pulled back into this like typecast type role.
And then another good point, I forgot who was the star. It was the star of Girls Trip. I forgot who it was. You know, she's been in basically solely Black movies.
Tiffany
Haddish. Not Tiffany Haddish. Like the main girl, Regina Hall or something.
Oh yeah.
And I remember she's on the Breakfast Club. You know, basically like they were like, oh, like do you feel like boxed in? And she's like, and then
from like Scary Movie.
That's
right.
Yeah, that's her.
And she was like, she just take what she can get.
Well,
basically.
no, I mean, she just said, you know, all the checks cash the same. So I think it just depends. And I think to that point, if we kind of put a higher degree on these Black films, I think that we'd see a lot more Black actors. But because Hollywood's so white, you know, to be that exclusive elite actor, you gotta be with the Martin Scorsese, you gotta be with the Quentin Tarantinos. You can't be with the Tyler Perrys. I mean, there's definitely a shift now. You know, especially in the last few years.
I kind of like a little bit where it's going, but then I kind of don't, just because I feel like all the, like, let's call them like big budget Black movies are all about like, when we talked about the Black struggle or like I don't feel like a lot of them are about even present struggle. A lot of them are about like our history and everything. And I think it was a tweet where it was just like they traded slave movies for like some other kind of like oppression movie. I can't remember what the actual tweet was, but it's basically like, you know, because I think there was like a whole big thing where every big Black movie was like a slave movie, like when it was like Harriet, 12 Years a Slave, and all those kinds of things. And now it's Judas and the Black Messiah.
Yeah, I feel like that's why like Black Panther had such a big hit for people, at least for me, because it wasn't that type of movie, but it felt like it was a Black film to me, just because like a lot of Black actors in it, but it was like not an oppressive type of like damn. Yeah.
Fuck, what was I about to say? I think that's why Jordan Peele has so much respect. I like what he's doing. He's taking the...
Yeah, like I love what Jordan Peele is doing.
And Charles Gambino as well with Atlanta and everything. It's not...
And I'm really excited about his new like Amazon deal. Like I feel like that's gonna like give us a lot of new kind of different takes on like Black content.
Yeah, it's so funny because I watched this trailer. I didn't think, I didn't know about this. Tyler Perry has 2 shows on BET called Brothers and Sisters, And I was like, okay, let me watch it. And it was just terrible. I mean, basically just take every single stereotype about black women and black relationships and put it on a TV show.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and then I remember reading about how he basically writes all of his shit by himself. You know, he had like 3 or 4 like screenplays just on his desk. And I was just like, this is why your movies, in my opinion, are very one-dimensional and very predictable. Like, and I think to elevate, you know, just black cinema, you gotta kind of diversify, because a lot of people get that.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, like I can only imagine Jordan Peele writing his own movies 10 years from now. I don't think it'll hit the same. I think you need some type of influence, because I think you get boxed in by yourself.
And more power to Tyler Perry. Wish him all the best, but I don't like anything he does. Like personally, like watching
ever
it,
or just recently.
I've only liked his plays.
I feel like he had a good.
Why Did I Get Married was a good movie. Yeah,
like his first maybe like 2-3 movies were good.
See, for me, the plays were so much better. It's just like I don't like the movies like that. Like they just didn't do enough for me.
I mean, they weren't like blockbuster. Well, they were, but like
yeah, they were blockbuster.
They were. But I'm saying like as far as like now, like I feel like the watchability is like, okay, you don't really want to watch that over and over.
Yeah,
and over. It's not a classic.
Yeah,
you know?
and then it's more of like blockbuster versus just like a quality film. Like I made money, but taken seriously. You know. And that's the sad part, because I feel like a lot of actors, you know, like we see no type of new age black actor going to Tyler Perry film, you know, and to me, to your point, he's owed a lot of respect. That is kind of a thing.
Like I don't think like a lot of people.
Like people really want to work with him.
Well, because that's all they had though.
Yeah.
You know, so now that they can branch out,
you would.
I'll take it.
I mean,
I hear both of y'all points, but I feel like it stems back to, I think B.S. said this earlier, just. There's still no diversity, so why would he switch up what he has? Just you're speaking from a man that came from what he's talking about. It's not like you're just doing it to make fun of us or anything. He knows what he's talking about. He's talking from a personal note, and he also, this is what pays his like. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be the advocate. Oh my God, Tyler Perry's all right. He does make some questionable decisions, but he has to still pay his bills. He still, and one thing I think B is also let me know, or I think we also know is. White production stuff to tell you yes. He's, I think, one of the few people that can tell himself yes at this point to get these shows out. But it's like there's still certain hoops that he has to jump through. Like scripts have to be approved and this and that and third. And I'm pretty sure he's had, I hope, better scripts than what's gets put out. But it's just like that might be too black, or what narrative are you trying to push here? Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I still like would commend Tyler Perry for what he's done. And honestly, I feel like I try to think about it like this: if Tyler Perry didn't go as far as he's gone, where we have like our Jordan Peele, we have like our Childish Gambinos and Ryan Coogler's and all these people who are doing these different things. You know, I feel like even though I don't really like what he does, especially now, I can argue that he opened that door for you know, black producers, black directors to really like kind of like get that shine a little bit more in the mainstream kind of way, outside of just doing, you know, the typical kind of black movies like that you saw like all over the 90s, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then one thing, to that point, I feel like there was like a renaissance of just black cinema in the 90s, and it just took like a serious nosedive, and it hasn't recovered yet. You know, there was, I mean, looking at all these movies that came out, you know, New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, any Spike Lee movie that came out in the 90s, you know, all the TV shows, Family Matters, and I was like, there was a lot of, like, back then. And then looking at it now, it's not the same. And to me, those are quality television, quality movies.
Yeah, we had to change our lighting, but we're back now after some technical difficulties.
Throws in Brockhamptons.
Nah, but yo, I was talking about the Grammys.
We're talking about
not the Grammys. The Golden Globes. What's the other one? I always get the Grammys and the other one. The Oscars. There it is. Oh, yeah, I always get those confused. Like, but it is always the indie films. It's always that shit that you never heard of.
Never.
Or never seen. Like, it's always those films winning.
Because I totally forgot, like the only, I remember talking this, like, maybe it was y'all, talking about how, like, Marvel, you know, how, like, how come never wins any award? Other than, like, you know, the visual effects awards. And I was like, to me, these are quality movies. Then I forgot what director it was. It was one of those, like, old age ones, like Martin Scorsese or somebody like that, saying how, like, this isn't cinema, it's a movie. Now I'm just like, okay, you want to break it down like that? And yeah.
What do y'all think about that? Like, is there a difference between Marvel and like any other kind of film, or your typical indie quote unquote film?
I would say so, because I feel like Marvel appeals to a different like audience and a more like she said, visual effects and just like wow in your face type action stuff. But like when you look for quality, it's more like the script and the drama and the actual acting ability.
I think all of that is incorrect. Like,
okay,
I think it's harder to be a Marvel actor than it is to be a regular
I know,
actor.
right, bro? That was just.
I think it's hard to be a Marvel actor.
Most fucking definitely, bro. Tom Holland and fucking everybody in that movie are looking at a fucking screen.
Well, I'm not saying it's not a
not even. They're not even
movie.
looking at the screen. They're looking at nothing.
No, I'm not saying it's not a quality movie.
They're flipping, jumping over nothing.
Why?
That's some acting right there.
Well, okay, I don't know. Okay, let me misunderstood your question because I don't think I love Marvel movies. Don't get me wrong.
I know you're not coming for
movies.
them. I know you're not coming.
They're great. They're my favorite movies to watch. But when I think of like, oh my god, this is like the best like art film that I've seen, I wouldn't say it's art.
Yeah,
see that's and I know B's gonna take this one, but hold on. That to me, why is the line drawn that it's not art? Because it's comic? Because it's superheroes? Like, why is it not art?
I guess it's
because I can't do it.
I guess it's a little bit subjective, but like for me, like when I look at like a film that's like art, I think of like let's say like a Pulp Fiction, where it's like, what?
Why? Pulp Fiction?
No, I mean I'm not saying, but
that was a bad example. I feel
okay, I'm sorry. I have to think of another example.
Okay, cool.
But well, when I think of art, I think of like something that's like very, I don't know, well written.
Waves.
No.
You didn't like Waves? Oh.
Waves is a good movie, but it's not.
Let B say her point.
All right,
she's gonna forget. She's gonna forget.
Oh, okay. Well, the point, because it is subjective to Adonka's point, but to me, it's all about what you want out of the film, which is why I don't like how the Academy Award is like the standard, because those are people with their biased opinion. To me, I hate those indie films. I watch movies to escape. I'm not trying to watch a film that I can relate to. I watch a film that, like, when I leave the movie theater, bro, I want to fly. I want to fight dragons. Like that's what I want to do. And if I leave the theater feeling that way, I'm like, that's a good ass movie, because it makes me really think that I could do these things, knowing that I damn well can't. But to watch a movie about an alcoholic and a family getting 24, I'm like, damn, this shit's hitting home. Like I'm not trying to leave the movie sad, but to some people, cinema, is a way to just basically talk about life in another medium.
Yeah, it just says, they say art represents life. It just repeats life.
And I guess that's why they count like those types of films as cinema, but not Marvel. And it's a line there, but like I feel like Marvel and what they do and what they kind of like, I feel like there's underlying things with Marvel that you could apply to real life.
There is.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of think they don't really get like credit for, because they're Marvel.
Yeah. And then think about, I'm going to talk about this with Luke, back in the day, your career was over if you did a superhero film. Like you were deadbeat, you need your bills paid. Nowadays, people are running those movies because that's to get your foot in the door now. Mm-hmm. You're in $1 billion movie, first film.
And I think the main reason why, and I told this to B, that's the only thing I can really think of that people don't deem it as important, just because it's technically already been done. Like, for the most part, all these Marvel things, like, films. It's already been done. So it's like, you're kind of just, it's kind of like when you write a book, and then the book makes, the book gets into a movie.
Yeah, and then the Oscar is Best Adapted Screenplay. It happens all the time.
So it's kind of like, overall, with knowing that some people don't respect it as much, because, like, the success has already been written for it. But to me, and to B's point is like, Marshall's point is to say, Black Panther spoke more volumes just being black than anything. That nigga could have just sat there the whole movie. Okay? It didn't really matter. It was the fact that he did that. And then to my point of loving Tom Holland, like, to me, I was the first Spider-Man. I've always felt like Spider-Man never was actually a kid. It was just like a grown-ass nigga. You know what I mean? And so, like, that's the first time.
Low-key,
and to B's point.
Look-wise and everything.
Like, to B's point, I think that was the first time I actually felt, I genuinely love Tom Holland. I've only seen him like two movies, you know what I mean? But I love him because he made me feel that way. Yeah, he made me feel like, damn, I want to go back to high school. That was kind of cool. Like,
and I also think with the superhero films, it's like a trope that they get like lumped into, because it's like the superhero model in general is always like the same thing. You have this come up of this hero, then he faces this guy, he beats this guy, and that's it. Yeah. That's the movie. That's Aquaman. That's Superman. That's Iron Man. That's Captain America. That's this. That's that.
But to me, and then
but that shouldn't take away from the movie.
Yeah, I'm not saying it should take away, but I think that's why people look at it like that. But at the same point, when you think about Avengers, I feel like Avengers was way like revolutionary. Mm-hmm. As opposed to like all those other, films that built to, Iron Man and all the single superhero movies. I feel like Avengers really did something different. And especially like with Endgame and how they did the part 1, part 2, I felt like even though that might be a comic book thing that is kind of like expected, I definitely think that they did something that warranted some like appreciation from it.
And then like to that point, just because I'm thinking about the movie Parasite, we all like want to go see it together, and that movie did not hit for me, But then there's so many think pieces, so many this, and I was just like, and then it won all these awards, and I was happy, but at the same time I was just like, but why, And
because it was foreign.
I mean that, and to me,
I don't think so. I think
to me, which also about McMurray, if a movie starts a conversation, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
That's true.
The underlying tones in these films that we're referring to Marvel isn't hitting hard enough. That Parasite hit hard enough. Because to me, no disrespect to the director or whoever shot this shit and all that, the movie was okay. I was looking at it and be like, is this shit getting boring? It's just me. Because niggas was like on the end of their seat watching it. And I'm just like, I'm getting kind of bored. Like, don't get me wrong. I love it. You get to see like what people actually go through, the system of life, which we've been going through forever. Whatever. Anyways, I feel like at the end of the day, if a movie starts a topic of conversation, is held higher in regards to other things, which shouldn't always be the case because I give Parasite like a 6. I would never watch a movie again.
I haven't seen Parasite yet, but I would say probably the biggest thing for like award winning, if anything, is like originality. I feel like I hear that when I watch any type of, you don't think so?
I'll let you finish.
Okay. Well, when I like watch like critiques of any type of movie, they're like they like it it gets an extra point because it's original, and I feel like people are craving like original content right now. So it's like if it's original and it's a decent, semi-good story, it's probably gonna win something.
See, that's the thing. I'm not even sure. It's like if it's the originalness of the originality of the story, or if it's just the originality of the perspective.
It's always the perspective.
And that's what I think really. I think that's what really shot Parasite up as far as it did.
Yeah.
Just because it was an Asian film, that's what I'm saying. It was foreign, and then also just how they kind of. Like you said, they started a conversation and they kind of talked around what the point of the movie was.
Yeah, because no one could figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. And that was like the thing.
I agree with his point with the foreignness because I think if that movie was actually English, it would take away from the fact.
If that movie was white people, it probably wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
I mean, not even that, but I think if we didn't have subtitles and it was actually dubbed or whatever you want to say, like made for us. Yeah, I don't think it would have hit harder. Or hit as hard, my fault.
Oh, if it was, okay. Maybe so.
Yeah. The fact that he stuck to his self and like, this is going to be what I started. Not just because it's blowing up, I'm not going to change anything.
And that was also a part of the think piece. Like, they talk about, like, why wasn't it dubbed? And he's like, bro, like, just read, you know? Like, there's a lot of good movies that people just overlook because they don't want to read.
Yeah, that is true.
I personally feel
one
like...
of those people.
I know both of y'all are.
I mean, it just depends about the actors. I feel like at the end of the day, movies is always going to be, a thing that we can discuss and people can discuss. But as bringing it back to the Marvel thing, I think we're getting to a point where it's like, basically, if you make too much money as who else? Yeah, if you make too much money opening week and shit like that, you're like, nah.
Yeah. That's your
you're too big. That's exactly like, okay, you're good. That's it.
You got the bag. You don't need an Oscar
MTV
for that.
Award,
yeah,
but not an Oscar.
You can make $1 billion, but you're not gonna get no award.
And then to that point, if the Oscars' whole point was to uplift these indie films, just say that. But they never do, It's always this weird, whoa, blockbuster, and then all these no-name films. And I'm just like, okay.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think it was Mars, I think he might have told me where he was looking at a list of, like, films that won awards, and the shit was boring as shit.
Bro,
yeah. No, for real. But, like, the award-winning film ones be boring, but, like, the actual, like, best actors, I usually like those ones. Mm-hmm. Like, when it's, like, because I think I was just reading a list of the people who have won Oscars for Best Actor, and it was, I think Joaquin Phoenix had won like 3 times in the past 10 years.
See, that's the thing, which is no point. To me, my favorite actors never won. Like, Leonardo DiCaprio was nominated 4 times, won once for The Revenant. Joaquin Phoenix only won for Joker, He
won before Joker.
No. He got nominated before, but he never won. Joker was his first win.
That was his first win?
His first win.
Are you sure?
I'm positive.
I don't have a laptop up, but clearly you're looking at me for the
No, I really think he won one before that. I'm pretty sure I've seen that he won one.
I'm positive he didn't.
Well, that's interesting because that's a comic book movie that won an award.
Yeah, no, and
that's because it was done like very
non-comic book way.
Exactly. It
attacked the mental health system in a way, in a very subliminal way.
And it started a conversation.
And it was that time period, like where everybody was talking about mental health. Like I think that's why they did that movie like that.
Yeah.
Just because like it was like
the moment he did all that drastic weight change, it was winning.
Bro,
for sure. Like if he's doing that, yeah, he's getting it.
Yeah. Like I want to know if Robert Pattinson gets no type of award for Batman because it's looking like a Joker.
Didn't Christian Bale get an award for his role in Batman?
No. Heath Ledger won for the best supporting actor at the Oscars for Joker.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. They do that.
Yeah, no. Like the only actor that I like that makes original movies is Wes Anderson, and to me because his movies are just so like lively and very like quirky, is that the word? But to me, like it's original.
Wes Anderson does his movies in a very different style than I feel like a lot of people do. Because he did that movie with the dogs, right?
Yeah, he did. Isle of Dogs.
Yeah, that was a good movie, and that was just it just looked different, like the way he did it on screen. You know, who's the person who did the Birdman movie?
Oh, the actual with the Emma Stone and stuff.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but he's the guy that also did The Revenant too with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh, that was dang.
I forgot his name.
I forgot his name too.
But I know he's a Mexican director.
Yeah.
His name.
And the way he shoots movies, he really like kills it like every time. I think it's like Guillermo something.
Ooh,
I can't remember.
That's somebody else. But
that's it.
yeah.
I don't know. But
what was the argument? Does he have an Oscar?
Yeah. Well, if
he
won
have an Oscar
one
before
Joker.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, because like I love Joaquin Phoenix. I was like, he's just now winning.
He has so many good movies.
Well, so many, and that's why I'm just like, and then even the winners, like it's very rare that like it's expected.
He's had 4 Academy Awards for acting, and he finally won his first role as Joker.
Yeah, and that wasn't even his best role.
Yeah, he was nominated. Okay.
Gotcha.
I feel like the Oscars can be a little bit pandering. That's why I don't respect it as much. I feel like whoever, like, it's more recently, especially with like social media and stuff, they can see who people are favoring, and they like will
go the opposite direction.
Because sometimes the conversation like with Leo is like he has to now run an Oscar, and finally everybody was like Leo needs to win this year for the Revenant. Like then he won, and it's like okay, thank you, but it's like I don't know.
And I don't even think that was his best like role. I get why he won that year, but. If he's winning that, he should win like 4 more right before it.
Yeah,
like,
and
honestly.
And that's the thing, cause I.
So y'all thinking like this, Zendaya didn't deserve her award?
Oh, she didn't.
Wait, she got an award? I'm
yeah,
for Euphoria.
She got an Emmy for Euphoria, which is like the Oscars of TV. It's like the Oscars are movies, the Emmys are TVs, and Globe and Gold is a mix of both, TV and movies.
I will honestly have to see like the categories for that because I'm not too sure what other shows like what she was competing with to say like that she shouldn't have won or should have won. She might have been the best thing in that category.
I think she did good in Euphoria, but I don't know if that's a popular opinion.
Was it award winning though?
I wasn't a huge fan.
It's different for her, and I feel like that's why people like it.
For her?
Because she came from Disney doing Disney stuff, and now she's like that's what when people get out of Disney,
so
they try to do
the
it gritty.
switch is what kind of like
it was like she's doing this now. It was gritty. Oh, she's doing drugs. Like okay, she's getting into her acting chops. Like let's award her for that. And I don't know if there's anything else on TV that's that like gripping for people to watch because there's a lot of criticism about Euphoria and like what's showing.
I don't think I can ever take in Euphoria like how other people take it in. I blame Atlanta, but all those memes and jokes when Euphoria first came out, I was like, this is just Atlanta. It's definitely true. Mm-hmm. Like I just can't take it in the same way because like, not trying to sound like that guy, but that's like an average day. Mm-hmm. When they call somebody, go to someone's Finster, talk to somebody, it's like drugs. I hate my life, my mom. Like it's literally an average day, and probably you could take Atlanta out of it. It might be an average day for a lot of us.
So you don't appreciate it in the same.
I don't appreciate it in the same light, but it definitely hit harder when I was looking into the cast of Euphoria, and there's a scene in there. I think you watch it the most. You watch it too, right?
Yeah, I watch it.
So there's a scene in there. I'm not sure if I remember where Zendaya. I think it's season 1, of course, where she was arguing with her mom. That first scene in the hallway.
Yeah, with the music playing, or was it before that when mom wanted to like pee in the cup or something?
Nah, the pee in the cup scene. Did they end up fighting?
Well,
they fought in the last scene.
Yeah, there's like a montage of them all their fights like just.
I think it was the last one, right?
Yeah.
Before that, so basically, what led to that montage, like. That whole thing was not written. Zendaya did that whole fight. That whole yelling, getting her face cursing on the
let me tell you the nominees. So it was Zendaya for Euphoria, Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Olivia Colman for The Crown, Jodie Comer for Killing Eve, Laura Linney for Ozark, and then Sandra Oh for Killing Eve.
Oh yeah, because remember I told you everybody kept commenting. He should have. Ozark should have won it instead of her. Yeah, everybody was commenting.
I could see Ozark.
Laura Linney was the wife, right?
Yeah.
What season though?
For the latest season, whatever season just came out, because
it doesn't matter what season, but she hands down. But to me,
this last season,
the dynamic of the show, the dynamic of the show is different. Like that's one thing I can't really get behind Euphoria for, because I told B this, I told you this. The show can go on without Zendaya.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like it can. It really
She's
can.
not even my favorite character in the show.
Like, and I
feel
rarely
like a
run.
lot of people say that.
Exactly.
Too.
I rarely run anybody that says Zendaya is her favorite character, and I think it downplays her, which I don't think is fair. I think the show is doing great because they only casted the star as it being Zendaya, which was smart as shit. But now it downplays her role because we're like, okay, Zendaya. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
she was the draw, but she's not what's really like keeping people in there.
Yeah. And so to your point, we look over it, but at the same time, which I watched in this video and I'm talking about, she went from, what was it? Her management told her not to do the role because of Disney, because of her crowd. It was like, your crowd is not there yet. Like this could be a huge thing to your branding. She says, no, I want to do it. She does it. Of course, they landed. They kind of, which I didn't know, the role for Rue in Euphoria was supposed to be a gangster. I told Mars this. I called him and I was like, bro, I think I might have liked this show more. Like, what if Zendaya was like, man, fuck out of here, bitch. Like, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, that would have been crazy. So basically, she switched it up, of course, when going for the role, and they liked it. Whatever. I do think everything now that she does, since it's post Disney, is gonna be way more dramatic.
Yeah.
Just because it's just so hard to leave Disney and have a successful career.
And then to your point, I do see her active. Like, she's not just somebody who just went to Disney and said, "Oh, I'm gonna do movies." You know, to me, that's like a Selena Gomez. She's just doing whatever she wants to do. But I do respect her as an artist because she's actively taking part. Like, she's, you know, portraying the characters. She's talking to the directors, the producers. You know, she takes it very seriously.
Yeah,
but at the same time,
I would say that too.
Yeah. But at the same time, like, that mean, God, her acting, like. She still can't act to me.
I think
she's definitely trying.
Especially like,
yo, she bugged out on that one.
But no, like especially after what you told me about how she just like improv that scene, that one makes me want to go back and try to give Euphoria a better chance. One and two, it also just at least makes me curious to see what she does next. Like if I see her in a role and it seems like it might be remotely interesting, I'm gonna watch it.
I'm
gonna give it a shot.
I faithfully think, give it 5 to 10 years, she will be the best actor.
Yeah, I think she needs to break away from Sam Levinson.
But I
don't know. I can see her being like a Leonardo DiCaprio and a Martin Scorsese. You know, one of those like duos that, you know, whatever Sam does, and and then to the point of like McMurray, I could tell that he gets a lot of flack for portraying these. You know, Sam Levinson. Okay. You know, he gets a lot of flack for portraying these narratives that he does not relate to. You know,
Black narratives.
Yeah. And so I think he needs somebody like a Zendaya who can co-sign him, and then, you know,
which is mixed, by the way. Who is mixed? But yeah,
I know that's a whole other discussion. And then give him the clout so people, you know.
I hear you. One thing, some more information. I can see that being a duo because of this, and this is a conversation that the camera hasn't seen. We talked about before, me and B. We was just talking about how, like, to me, a lot of actors kind of had a really easier way than other actors because they stuck to good directors, or they stuck with someone that was working with them.
Yeah.
You feel me? And she was bringing up a couple people, I was bringing up a couple people, and I think that's still on the actor's fault. You feel me? Like, work with who you think can portray you the best. Now, is it a cop-out? That's an argument that can be made. I think personally Zendaya would stick with her director because, I don't know if y'all know this, but Hunter Schafer, right?
Yeah.
This is in her contract. She writes her shit. She was like, I will do Euphoria if I have hands-on writing credits with this show. Because I don't believe no one can speak as me or speak as a trans woman in this world better than a trans woman. So to me, to hear that and be in your contract, I don't know, that's pretty fire to me. I don't know if that's the average thing that happened.
I don't think
but that's hard.
And that's why I really like HBO, because they give their people money and that's it. Like I forgot her name, but even the girl that did the show, God, I was never really. I forgot her name. The girl that did Chewing Gum.
Oh, you're talking about
Martha probably remember her name. I don't know it.
I may destroy you or something like that.
Yeah.
What
because
about her?
I remember reading her interview, and the reason why she started doing Chewing Gum, she was like, you know, this is my show, and I'm not even doing anything. You know, I'm not casting nobody, I'm not directing. All I'm doing is writing, and then they still, you know, critique my writing. Literally said, I went to HBO, they gave me this budget, and they just let me do whatever I want. And then I think it's because a lot of people are being more serious about their craft. I think it's very rare to find a new age actor not investing in whatever they're doing, whether it be the movie, whether it be the TV show, or even the song. Yeah. You know, and that's why I think they're getting better quality because it's more collaborative than it was before.
Mm-hmm. My biggest fear for Zendaya is herself, which is, I know, corny, but like I think she's gonna play too deep into this dark artistic woman.
I can see that too.
Like and it's to me, it won't harm her for real because this generation is just, oh my God, loving it and eating it up. So it's like, it's
so mean.
It's, like people are going to like forever. She's basically not trying to, this is no disrespect to Zendaya, but to me, she's going to earn the respect as in like a Ryan Gosling type character without doing nothing near of a Ryan Gosling type acting performance.
But that's why I said breaking away from Sam would be probably
the best thing. That's what I would agree with.
Because Malcolm and Marie was the whole like, I'm a recovering drug addict again.
Which she also co-wrote.
Yeah, but it's just like I feel like he's gonna keep her in that space.
I think the reason why she likes that role though is because of what Dawn said to begin with. Is post Disney. That's dramatic as fuck. Like really think about it. I went to
trying hard to
get to like to say like yo, I went
swinging all the way left.
Like exactly like bro, I went from telling kids what to do. Kids look up to me now like hey, we're talking about drugs. Yep. Like we're getting fucking real. Like this is real life.
We're getting fucking real.
Yeah, like, and then in my opinion, I think she does these roles to negate her how she looks. You know, she's a very attractive person. You can probably get roles off of her looks alone. Think, no, I'm gonna be, you know, of course she never looks bad, but you're saying, you know, I'm not wearing no makeup. I'm not gonna have my hair done. You know, I'm just gonna be this very raw, authentic character, and I get it. But at the same time, I think what makes a good actor is the diversity. So if she's doing this type of film again, bro, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm done.
I think for her that she thinks that's gonna make her more appreciated as an actress.
Yeah, I feel
And she's right. I'm stripping away everything, so you just see my acting.
She's definitely right. Just co-sign that thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I did,
but I think dramatic actors get more respect in general.
To me, if Zendaya is running with her thoughts, as this video told me, like playing fuck her management and doing her thing in her head, she's the fucking most smartest person in the world. She went against what people were telling her, advising her to do, saying fuck Disney, did Euphoria, did Malcolm and Marie. As B's point, I'm showing people I can really fucking act and I'm gonna strip down and do it. I mean, from her head, you gotta think like I'm on fucking fire. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I mean, technically for the wide
audience.
Yeah, she is because everybody loves Euphoria. Everybody loved Malcolm and Marie, even though it wasn't a good movie.
I don't say everybody.
No, a lot of people.
No,
like
but
if you look on Twitter and IG, people talking about that movie,
but
it's like the best thing they ever seen. Speaks to their relationship.
I can't be mad at it, bro.
It's fixed our love life. I've seen people say that.
You ain't see it.
No, I'm sorry. I can't be mad at Zendaya. I can't be mad at the director. I can't. No. You can't get mad at someone just for feeding what the generation wants.
Yeah, you can't really be mad at them.
They
but
want
I'm just saying, like,
and I'm just like, why?
I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying I don't. If she's gonna pigeonhole herself, is what I'm saying.
I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, she's a beautiful black woman. So it's like, regardless, it's like this is her stripping herself down, getting these roles. So imagine it's like, okay, guys, I want to look pretty again. Whole new thing. Mm-hmm. Like it does not. To me, she's put herself in a perfect position to do exactly whatever she wants.
Yeah,
like because
basically what you're saying, she just has control. Like
complete.
This is what she wants to do now. If she wants to do something different later, she's gonna be able to do that because she already has established that. Yeah, I'm doing what I want to do. Because her management, her people,
most actors do the reverse. They do all this stupid shit, and then later on, they're like, I want to do films I really like. I want to do indie. I want to be taken seriously. She's taken seriously now. I don't know how. My biggest fear for her is that this deadpan thing, this artsy look, kind of goes too far. Mm-hmm. And so in the sense of like, 'cause I think Euphoria will be touching a lot of will be touching a lot of borderline crazy episodes next season, because they, to me, are a show which I think we all can agree with, are up to date, essentially. So I think they're going to tackle a lot of things that may borderline be a lot of controversy for her. That's my thing.
Yeah, and then the reason why before, because like I love Skins growing up, and to me Skins was basically, you know, Euphoria but way raw.
And I remember Degrassi.
Even Degrassi, you know,
all that shit.
Yeah. And I'm just realizing, you know, how young people are watching these shows, because this is like their first time experiencing, you know, authentic portrayals of teenagers. And I was like, this is not the first show, but I bet, you know, there's gonna be some type of revival of these shows the next like couple
years.
Tell me
if I'm wrong. Was Skins so like?
Well, I can tell you all about Skins.
No, was it so? I feel like you were in an in crowd if you knew Skins. Like, was it so big, like so dramatic? Oh, am I wrong?
Here's the thing.
Like that big of a show?
Yeah, like I just feel like I feel like post Skins was more dramatic than actual when Skins was around.
It was weird because like you had to know about Skins, but then when it came on Netflix, like that's when it gained a bigger audience. But it was still the show was still going when it got on Netflix. So
So I'm asking you though, as a person that know everything about Skins, do you think it was bigger post the show? Because I feel like the reason why Euphoria is taking this effect is because it was so big pre the show. Drake Drake produces it.
Oh yeah.
And then Zendaya so that's what I'm saying, like because of the fact that Skins essentially wrote the way for Euphoria. So you would say that Skins became bigger after, correct? That's what I'm asking you. Because personally, I don't. Anytime someone says Skins, they're on the in crowd. Like, yeah, I know my shit. Skins, this, and the third, whatever. It's not like the average person. You know Skins?
Yeah, back then, Skins was like the...
Skins was like an underground kind of show.
That's what I'm saying.
Degrassi was the big show.
Yeah. It was. Okay, I'll give you that.
And I mean,
but that's usually how it goes. There's always like an under show that someone probably catches. Like, okay, we can make this bigger with a couple of, you know?
And then Euphoria.
But,
because Degrassi was more like...
Positive.
And which is weird because I didn't know that Euphoria was even a remake of an Israeli TV show, and I'm trying to find the Israeli show and I haven't seen it. I was like, "Where is this show?"
Really? I heard that. Yeah, I've heard a completely different story actually. I gotta look into that.
And it was weird because in the Israeli show, the parents were never seen in the show. We just saw the kids, but it's kind of like what Skins kind of was a little bit. But yeah,
I mean, some Children of the Corn shit.
Yeah, but I mean, Euphoria is a good show, but I think it's just... Imagine being 15, 16, watching Euphoria. Yeah, that would have been my shit too, okay? But now that I'm 23 and I've been through it, I'm just like, was it like that? Sure, but wasn't like this.
Nah.
So what y'all think? If Drake never did Degrassi, will we have Euphoria right now?
Whoa.
Oh,
talk about a reach.
Maybe.
That is a reach. I know it's a reach. It's a reach. But...
I don't know why he's on the show though. I mean, I've never heard him speak about it. I hear Sam Levinson, I hear Zendaya, I hear everything about them, but I never hear.
I would be interested to see what his role actually is. Like, what does he actually do?
Euphoria is an American what did you say it was from?
Israel.
She's right. Israeli show of the same name, and all the episodes are written by Sam Levinson. Yeah.
No, I mean I wasn't lying.
No, I didn't know if it was like actual fact, like if you just heard that type shit.
Oh no, it was a wiki.
Yeah. You think you said if Drake wasn't a part, would it be such a big show?
No, would Euphoria be? Would Euphoria exist if Drake never did Degrassi?
Oh yeah. Oh wait, what?
If Drake never did Degrassi, would Euphoria exist? I know it's a reach, but just
that's too big a reach for me to answer.
No, just run with me a little bit.
No, I can't run with you.
Just run with me a little bit.
I can't even walk with you, my nigga.
The first question was if Drake did not reach his pinnacle of success, would he even care to
That's a lot of ifs in these questions.
Look, man.
Alright, man. I'm trying to hypothesize.
Hypothesize this. If Drake didn't produce the show, would Euphoria be big? Like, that's what I thought y'all were getting at.
Man, that's I feel like that's pretty obvious.
And that's the crazy part.
I think so.
I would disagree.
I disagree.
Viewership-wise, which is why I love, like, these, like, premium shows, it's not doing no crazy numbers.
That's my
viewers.
point.
It's breaking like a million.
Oh, you saying it's not doing crazy numbers?
No, yeah, no.
Oh,
she said that, and I also seen it on, I think, Complex or whoever tweeted it. Yeah, it's not doing great. But it's for a certain crowd, and it's too R-rated, some would say, to put to the masses. So to me, I think the show would have done well because of HBO's sense of how they go about their shows. It was still, I think, now to me, Drake's real effect would show if this gets more than 4 seasons, because I don't think it needs more than 4 seasons. That will be the real Drake effect because it has that much money behind it to keep going.
Here's the thing. I think it should follow the Skins effect because every 2 seasons they totally replace the cast. You would see them in like the prior season kind of like hinting like, oh, they're gonna be a big deal. Then the next show, because
they're not gonna say that they go. I know that
they're juniors now. I can imagine senior year next season and then maybe like a summer season. And then to me, the show shouldn't last no more than like 3 seasons.
I say 3, bro. Yeah. And they not like if they go on past 3 with the new cast, and there's not.
No, and that's the thing with like TV and like HBO. It's like they're gonna. A lot of shows used to just stretch it out as long as they can until like it just got canceled. But now it's like we're gonna end strong. So and then I go see it on their contract. Like 2 seasons, you gotta like readjust.
Yeah, I feel like what's sad, but also like the smartest thing to do. HBO, Netflix, everybody's catching on, bro. We care for a new show and it could just be the same show, just a different name. That's literally it. Like to me, I think there's like this whole limited series that's going on to me. A lot of them are similar to me. Like all these shows kind of have like a dark kind of feel to it, but not really dark. Like it's kind of also lighthearted, but it's dark enough to make you think that, oh my god, I'm watching something super deep right now. When it's just like a bitch has gone missing and dead, and 2 episodes you already know who it is.
Euphoria, I'm just like the show was not that deep. It really is just kids being kids.
What was the show that that Kim co-signed, Travis co-signed, everybody was watching.
I thought it was the
Undoing, right?
Yeah.
The Undoing, okay.
Even my boss co-signed that shit.
To me, everybody
co-signed
co-signed it, and to me, all these movies have not movies, all these limited series have the same type of feel. Like it's deep, it's intriguing, but the endings and not even before the endings, you're kind of like, okay, what's the point now?
I mean, to
no,
me,
yeah, that's true, and that's bad to say for it.
A limited series.
Like you shouldn't be losing people.
Yeah.
But that's why you're getting movie stars on TV now. To me, it's more cinematic shows, you know?
I agree, but that's my point. I feel like it's so sad that people are like, not sad, but production companies are understanding like people care for things looking good. They care for big names. Now we have the formula. Keep it going. Like, I feel like HBO is killing that. Like limited series, looking beautiful, getting a couple cosigns. Like A24 is still behind these doors of the same shit. So you feel me? A lot of production companies are still behind these doors, but it's the fact that it's a show now that it's like, oh my god, I feel like I can watch more of it. But to me, what you just said, 4 episodes in, you already got the show figured out. But to your point, it now is about the cinematics of everything. And I'm just like, I'd rather have gotten 2 seasons basically, than just 4 episodes and figured everything out.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I feel like some of these limited series, even though they're done the same way, I think that it's very few that actually have like good endings where it like goes all the way through and you're just like,
I don't understand why.
It's just like
7 fucking episodes.
Would you say that
No. I haven't seen a good limited series ending. I promise
Really?
you.
So you didn't like the ending to the show I put you on to?
No, man. I was blown by them fucking flashbacks. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Like, I wasn't blown. That was one of the better ones. I will definitely say that.
Okay.
It was one of the, but I was blown. I always hated shows that showed you shit at the end of the fucking show, seasoned all that, and flashed it back. I'm like, bitch, how? When? Like, what the fuck? But that show did it better because we never seen that perspective. Shows kind of hint
What
at
show
the...
is this again for the audience?
What's it called?
Don't look at me. Because like when you said they're all the same, I'm like, they are.
Sharp Objects.
Yeah,
Sharp
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, that show did it better because we never seen that perspective.
Yeah.
But I hate when shows kind of hint at the perspective, and then when it's all said and done, they kind of flash back. It'll show it through the credit scenes. Like, come on, bro. How are we supposed to get that? Like,
I don't see, and that's the thing. Like when I was reading about it, that whole like last scene was never intended to be like that. You were just supposed to end off with that last line in that last episode.
But yeah, like I said,
they only did that because it was just like, yeah, people still might not get it. Like there was a whole big thing between like them as far as like when they was doing the show. Like, damn, people still might not get it. What actually happened?
Yeah.
So that's why they put it.
Don't get me wrong. I like the ending because we never seen her perspective. I've always like, if we never seen it and you show it to us at the end, okay, cool. I agree with that point. I hate when they kind of show you something like, oh, that's what he was doing the whole movie. Like, really? Why can't y'all hint at a little bit more? I like the movie because of the simple fact. I keep saying movie, my fault. The show, Sharp Objects, because of the fact that, what's it called when they have like that one thing in the show that carries on throughout the whole theme of it? Like,
extended metaphor or a motif.
There we go.
Yeah.
The motif started with her dollhouse, and to me, I would have loved for it to end like that because to me, the whole like, I don't know what they call these, but like the whole meaning behind the dollhouse is that there's beauty on the outside and then you keep everything on the inside, the darkness on the inside. And I feel like that alone, I would have been fine with that ending. Because it started with that. We always, to me as a viewer, I was like, what the fuck is in this dollhouse? Like, she made sure that no one touched this dollhouse. So I'm like, in my head, I kept thinking she staged everything. Like, you can see everything mapped out in the dollhouse. That's what I thought originally. Yeah. And, you know, we've seen the ending, so there's that. You should definitely watch it. I don't think you will like it, though.
I didn't watch it. The last good limited series that I watched was, which I'm talking about, was Little Fires Everywhere. Because to me, yeah, the ending was up in the air, but you still kind of got the point of the ending.
I hated that. That's the worst ending I've seen in fucking
I still gotta watch that.
I didn't watch it.
You're not missing anything.
Okay.
You are.
No, you're not.
Wait, who's in Kerry Washington?
It's Kerry Washington and Reese Witherspoon.
Yo, hear me out, right?
Hold on, before you say that, Big Little Lies. Have you seen that?
You haven't seen that?
That's another one with Reese Witherspoon. Just go watch it. We ain't gotta talk about it. Just go watch it.
You would like.
Did you tell me it was similar?
I watched a couple
It's very
with my
similar.
sister.
But it's not limited. It's not limited series. It's
yeah, this is the second or third season now.
It actually kind of it was.
It
started off the first season.
Series,
yeah, exactly.
And then
they just
got
added the
extended.
second season because it was so popular.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I want to get.
That's why it still has that same like limited series feel to it.
Yeah, and I could feel that the second season was like an afterthought. I could kind of tell that.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
to me, Little Fires Everywhere, and this is becoming a thing, which B said and like we talked. I think this might be a personal thing. Will Key stand for as well. I think supporting roles be killing the whole show to me, bro. Like Reese Witherspoon and Kerry Washington and shit. I didn't give a fuck about them, bro. All I cared about was them white kids because they was going crazy. Like, bro, acting was on. I felt for them, bro, and they had everything they needed in life. But like, to me, it's extremely hard to give an actor privilege in a movie, and then for you to still feel for them when they throw it all away. I think that's extremely hard, especially being black. He's like, why are you doing all this? You feel me? But I actually, I feel like I felt for them. I was just like, I wouldn't have went that extreme, burning down the house and shit. But I understand. Like I can see the dramaticness. Like,
yeah. But you saw it by looking at the parental relationship, which was the main character for this film.
No, I didn't. What I mean by this, I always felt like Kerry Washington was dumb. Not her fault. Not her fault. I hate shows, and this is why I like Sharp Objects, that show you so much, but then try to still make it so mysterious. You already gave us the juice, bro. We're done. We done drunk everything. That's why I like Sharp Objects. It was just enough. It
didn't give you too much.
Yeah. Kerry Washington, her character was done developing by episode 4. To me, same thing with the whole parents' dynamics.
Which is why they started going backwards on both
exactly.
parents.
The parent dynamics was already developed to me.
Interesting.
But to me, I was kind of nervous because like you kind of flesh out the character, then you're like, why the fuck are they like that? Then they go back to explain why they are.
So, but to me, now this is a personal opinion. I don't care for that because they didn't engage me enough. Yeah. The kids is what got me going. I'm like, okay, I want to know what happens to her. I didn't care for KY. I didn't care for the mom.
I was just about to say this interesting point about Sharp Objects is that there was a whole big argument with the person who did the books and the person who directed the show of like how much dialogue there was going to be in the show, because the director didn't want it to have nearly as much dialogue as it did, but the writer kept fighting for it because it was just like, no, the dialogue and the words that people are saying to each other is so important. Like it gives it so much more than just like looking at some shit.
Yeah.
And like
I would have definitely hated it if it was his way.
Yeah, and that's what I was kind of said. Like I feel like the script is what really like did it for that show. Yeah, it looked good, like, and that's the thing well, I won't say it did it for the show, but it set it apart from all the other series who just like, yeah, they look good. And that's like the main call.
And I think with the formula you just said, I can't remember exactly how you said it, but the whole like giving you enough and then going back, that seems to be the exact degree, like pedigree for everything of these short
that's
films.
What Doing did.
The limited the limited series. But to me, that just, it throws so much pressure on the actor. To me, you have to actually care for this actor now. And to me, going on with Kerry Washington, I just more and more I learned, and more I did not give a fuck.
Yeah,
like, I was like, you're fucking dumb.
I think it can be detrimental because if you go back and you don't agree with their choices, then they like me more. Yeah,
I agree, because when it's happening, then you're like, oh shit, or you can be like, really, you know what I mean? It's active.
But then again, because they're being promoted as limited series, you know, like, you know what, fuck, there's only 4 episodes left.
Exactly.
No, don't get me wrong. Yeah, you're gonna finish it out. Yeah, but to my point, like it's kind of weird to me how we're watching limited series and I feel like they're hitting their peak midway of the fucking show.
Yeah, but then if this is like a regular, you know, cable TV show, you wouldn't stop watching.
You thought I would have?
You would have stopped watching. Yeah.
I don't think it would have hit their peak that early. That's my point.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't make movies and make shows enough to know this, but maybe because they have to bobble up so much that the peaks are like coming sooner. Maybe.
Well, I mean, it's also about like attention span. Like it's like you guys are, you know, definitely something different because I know a lot of people do not wait that long.
That's they why won't watch a whole entire series have probably popped off as much as they have now.
Yeah, but I know I won't.
I mean, bro, like the discussion, bro. TikTok is we had minute-long videos. People craved and cried after Instagram wanted to give you hour-long videos and shit like that. And now the most famous app is 60 seconds. Like, it's hard. Like, we don't look at those things when it comes to movies, but those things matter. I'm never going to forget Mars showed me this one crazy, like, informational YouTube video about how many cuts happens in one movie now for one scene because of attention span. Like, it just showed you, like, a movie that would have done no cuts versus a movie that would have done, like, 30 cuts to show you one thing.
And that's the thing, like, that's always been a thing, but it's just gotten so much crazier now. Crazy. Like, you know, it's a big thing in action movies, like right now, where it's like they show you that that drive scene, and you're seeing that crash happen from this angle, 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 like all the angles, like you're getting 360 degrees of that same crash happening in that same exact time. One thing is going on in that movie.
I'm not gonna lie,
you're seeing it.
That's one thing. That's one thing that saved Christopher Nolan's last film to me. I don't care. That was mad cuts, but I needed them shits. Not gonna hold you. Yeah, because my nigga out been like, oh shit, what the fuck?
No,
like,
for real, I do.
I was still lost.
I needed them cuts.
But I'm just not looking at it. I definitely looking at it. So.
Yeah, it was cool, but yeah, I agree with B on with the attention span and then like the peaks kind of happening sooner because one thing I noticed when I asked people to watch shows I like, they're like, okay, what is the point by episode 3? I'm like, bro, to me, by episode 3 of any show, I should start picking who I like in the show.
No, yeah.
Not care all for the show yet. That's just me personally.
Yeah, and then about like even looking at trailers of movies in like the 90s and now, you can get the whole entire movie from the trailer.
Yeah, most definitely.
Look at those 90s shows that you had no idea, but that's also like people want to know what they're gonna get into when they go
that's
to
true.
go
That's
see
true.
a
I do recognize that with trailers a lot too.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like,
you
okay,
get so much
I still
more
wanna watch
of
it,
an
though.
understanding of what the movie.
Not to bring it back up, but Tenet was the last film like that. No one knew what the fuck to expect. They were just like, oh yeah, I think that's Christopher Nolan. Like what?
I think what really kind of like sold Tenet was the fact that it was Christopher Nolan's next like big film, and then also John David Washington and Robert Pattinson. They gave you just enough. And I'm talking about the trailer. They gave you just enough to be like, okay, we need to go watch this.
I think Robert Pattinson and Christopher Nolan sold that film.
See,
and the fact that it called back to Inception. I think that's what a lot of people thought about when they thought about it.
Christopher Nolan is one of those like vanguards, like the old way. You know, he hates the streaming collaboration with movies.
Was it Hulu? Was it Hulu or HBO, bro?
HBO, bro. He went hard.
He was like, no, fuck that. My shit is not going on those streaming services, nigga.
Wow.
We going to the theaters to watch this shit.
Yeah,
I respect
it.
I do too.
Here's the thing. It's like I respect it, but then again, looking at it from the perspective of what we're going through, you tell me I gotta die to watch a movie?
Yes, nigga.
Tell me, like, and then
this movie is worth dying over. That's what he said.
I don't think it. I'm not him. And yeah, it's definitely how it came across. I don't think it was. I think it was how fast they wanted it, bro. Because it was only out for like a month or so. Yeah. And it was like snapping on HBO. But to your point, I mean, a lot of things are going on in the world. But I don't know that. I personally feel like he should just never drop the movie.
Yeah.
I knew he was never gonna like how it ended.
To me, I just hate it because, like, in my opinion, the way things are going, it's going more positive, more accessible. So you told me I gotta pay this, $13 for me and my kids to watch a movie, but I can just pay this $5.99 a month on HBO Max and watch it for free.
So I thought about this, dude. I doubt it will ever become like this, but I would love for to do something for myself. Do you ever think movies are gonna become rare? And what I mean by rare, like, what if Christopher Nolan went on a movie tour where only certain people got to see it? Like, if you got in line, you got to watch it. That's it.
Oh, basically, like, to kind of call back to our last episode, if movies turn into like how it's like sneaker culture is,
like basically
like limited number of tickets.
I think I can see that, and the reason why I say that is because Christopher Nolan type directors aren't going away. He's not the only one that felt like that. He's probably the only one that spoke that vocally.
I would think it would be the opposite.
Really?
Only because like what B said about it being so accessible now, I don't feel like we're gonna go back to wanting to really work really hard to go to the movie. And it's like I know I won't. Yeah,
hear me out. I got a great example of that. Y'all mean to tell me y'all favorite actor goes on tour, director and all, to give y'all a movie, if you can get tickets to it, you're not going?
No, I'm not saying that I wouldn't go.
No. Are you going?
Yeah. There's a lot of variables you're not talking about.
No, but
what are the variables? Let me
the variables is the price of the ticket. If it's like a sneaker thing, she can sell it immediately. And then I'm gonna buy $400 movie tickets.
And here's my thing: it's gonna eventually end up on streaming. Eventually.
No, that's not.
That's what I feel.
No, it's not. That's my point. To me,
you're saying streaming didn't exist or streaming was not a factor.
Basically, if they said like, we're gonna take this movie and you're only gonna be able to see it.
Yeah, if it's exclusive,
set number of times.
Yes.
Okay.
I would go.
Yes.
I think that's gonna be a thing.
Okay.
I'm surprised it didn't become a thing yet. I think the only reason why and it'll be harder is because production companies want so much.
But
you're about to take resale for a movie ticket?
It's still kind of a thing now.
If it was Tenet, I might.
I mean, all these Oscar movies, they premiere at a festival that nobody ever hears about. They just happen to have a festival afterwards. And then it's in I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to play Alto so bad, but it was not showing in Georgia. It was in New York and LA. And some other weird theater.
I got an answer for that, but that's, to me, those are only indie films. I mean, if Christopher Nolan came out, blockbuster film, nigga, only coming to 50 states in the United States only. Can't hear if you can. Call it a day.
I mean,
I just
don't get me wrong, the tickets will drastically start flying up. If you catch it for your $20, $30, you're getting it back for 50 or 100.
I just can't see that happening now. I feel like it's not convenient enough.
I see it happening. What's the convenience? If I can rent a movie theater for 2 hours for $100 or whatever amount of hours, it can definitely happen. The only reason why it can't happen is the production side of things.
The thing about it is, it's just like
it wouldn't make any money.
I think they could, but that's a different argument.
Okay.
Ooh, see, that's the thing. Like, if it's like a huge budget.
Yeah, because hear me out.
Which is why it's only indie films that could possibly do that. Like, Marvel film is gonna go.
Hear me out.
On tour.
Y'all don't think right?
Let's hear this.
Hear me out. Marvel, you're definitely. I'm not putting them in the discussion. Fuck them. They need the whole world to be behind them. Okay, this is a different discussion. How much the Christopher Nolan budget was?
For Tenet?
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Everybody say definitely.
But I would think maybe that will work if they're upping those ticket prices. I don't know if that's where you was going with it.
I am, but hold on. I want to have a
Bro,
real deal.
they already went up on the snacks. You can't do both.
You said what?
They already went up on their movie snacks, which is why nobody buys movie snacks anymore.
I never did.
Bro, it's a proven fact. Like, people don't buy them anymore because it's too expensive. And then, like, I get it. Those cinemaphiles will probably do that. Me, a regular degular, I won't. You know, I'm like, the movie can't be that good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna die on that hill. It won't be that good. I promise you.
I'm gonna
So the budget for Tenet was $205 million, which I would have thought it'd been a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I would
So
have too. Shit.
50 states. We're not including the world right now. We're just saying 50 states. Each state gets 3 times to see this movie for I say a weekend, right? They're definitely making that money.
Bro, but here's the thing. Why are you gonna make a movie a luxury? That's the point of movies.
But that to me, that's where we're going, and that's what I'm saying. This all started with Christopher Nolan's mindset. Let's bring this back, right? He, and I don't think he's the only one. He's the only one that's been as vocal. Does not like the streaming services effect. Correct? To me, to combat that, because he does think very highly of his movies. Well, fuck y'all. I know there's tons of people that will want to pay for my shit. Let me not give it a streaming service. I'm gonna bring it to you niggas.
I could kind of understand that just because of like, just that whole like anti thing, and I feel like with the way that movies have become so accessible through streaming, that there's gonna be people who are just like, fuck, I don't want to do that, and there's gonna be like down the line, like people are like they're gonna change their movies and make them like eclectic. Because I feel like when something becomes super accessible like that, that's what happens. They kind of like want to switch it out. Like, oh, nah, I don't want to be that accessible.
I feel like if you are Christopher Nolan, you can do that because you have that type of, like, I guess, like clout to
this
do
is
that.
This is not just an average Joe type of nigga.
yeah.
I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, to me, and this is, he used the perfect word, the anti-situation, because to me, Christopher Nolan loses respect, and I do think it's true. A lot of directors will lose respect watching their movie at home. I think a lot goes into the cinematic effect of watching it in a huge screen.
When you get to that extreme of like where it's like, okay, we're not even going to the theaters for this. We're just gonna watch it at home.
Yeah.
You go back to the extreme of like, okay, now y'all niggas not gonna see this shit unless you're paying $100 per ticket.
And to me, to B's point, right? And I think this is the reason why people like Christopher Nolan. You like a director, whatever. If you're watching a movie, if you're in a theater with similar-minded people, essentially, because you're watching this film, that's why you're going. You're like, hey, I'm going to go watch this Christopher Nolan. Everybody knowing who did this movie, Christopher Nolan, you're watching Tenet for the same reason that we're all here. So I feel like that selling point alone, on top of whoever he has in the film and him directing it, yeah, he would. Now, this all, to me, the biggest thing here is production. Like, one thing I know we don't all know too much of, I think there's a lot of, like, he say, she say that goes on in these movies coming out. So can I see it being a huge thing? Like everybody or big directors doing it? No. Can I see someone trying to take that leap forward? Yes.
Yeah, I was about to say, because Christopher Nolan, he might want to do that, but he still has to interest somebody.
Exactly.
Yeah, no,
exactly.
and that's even
He has
talking
a
about
contract with whoever he has a contract with too.
Exactly.
Have to do all his movies through them, and then
like to your point, if someone wanted to do it, I can see you being a Jordan Peele type of person.
he has a contract too with
yeah, but
Warner Brothers, I think.
But I don't think it's like, once it comes out to production and budget, I don't feel like it'd be easier for him to recoup that money.
Yeah,
versus
the
Tenet.
I don't think they're gonna let him do like
take that risk.
Eclectic movies.
Yeah.
Like let Jordan Peele become a free agent. Let Christopher Nolan become a free agent of movies. Then they gonna talk about doing that. I can see that,
feel like,
but I don't think
Warner
Brothers.
I might be understanding this wrong. I think so, because if you do it independent, I don't see how you afford it independent wise.
Here's the thing, I think somebody could do that and actually succeed. I do understand, but to me, I think that's going back to what we don't want to go back to, which is making things inaccessible to people.
Right.
I get it. You spend a lot of money on this movie. You want to see it in the big screen. But to me, think about people that can.
Yeah, but the thing about that is like people love what other people can't access.
Which is the problem.
I don't think it's a problem.
That's a little bit of a problem, but at the same point, that's just like part of
but
culture.
Then again,
That's what's gonna stay.
So you tell me. To me, equating it to any type of median of creativity, you want to make music people that can't all listen to it. You want to make TV shows people that can't all watch it.
Not even that, but you have to actually like pay to listen to it. You can't just pay for a streaming service. You have to pay for
act
the
like Apple didn't sign so many artists? Bro, I can't even watch Billie Eilish's documentary right now because it's only through Apple. This happens every single day. So why is
you
it?
can't watch the Sanford.
I can't listen to Tierra Wax. I can't listen to Tierra Wax songs because it's only Apple. I can't listen to fucking Frank Ocean because it's only on Apple. It's nothing new.
But you want to expand it though. Do you like the fact that you can't watch this documentary or that song or whatever?
To me, the reason why I'm saying
But do you like it though?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I will go where my money can take me. My money take me to Spotify. Okay.
I don't like that because it's not about that artist. It's about that company. That's why I don't like it. I like the idea of it being.
If Billie Eilish chose to do that, then that's fine.
To me, it is about the artist. The artist needs to get to that bag. Billie Eilish can drop it anywhere. She understands that Apple's giving the most of the bag.
Yeah, they are. But I'm just saying, like, I would like it better if Billie Eilish did that and said, like, hey, I'm dropping this on my own kind of thing. And she recoup, because even, like, Apple giving her that money, right?
Yeah.
For doing that and having that on their service, they're still, the money that they, how am I trying to say? The money that they gave her ain't shit to what they're about to make off of her.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying.
That's the point.
And that's what I always hate.
The money that they gave her ain't shit to what they're about to make off of her. Like,
I'm confused.
Like,
I get that, but how does this relate back to the point of the movie?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. Like,
okay, gotcha.
If things are gonna be inaccessible, and this is why I said, Jordan Peele being a free agent or Christopher Nolan being a free agent, I would kind of support that just because if they're free agents, I know that they're about to get all of this off of being inaccessible.
Oh, so I think we look at free agents differently. They have to pay more people. They make less money. That's why people sign though. Because if I make my own movie now, that's why people hated Chance so much and he was watering on the industry. Yes, he gets more money up front, but now he is in charge of paying you, and that comes with the chance with a chance to pay a producer, this and third, which we know he's human, so it's like whatever happened. Different discussion. I think it's definitely easier maybe to start that thought as an indie person. I don't think it would be possible though.
Well, like, it's kind of like that same conversation.
For a touring.
It's that same conversation with, like, if Drake goes indie, and takes, like, his money, his own indie thing, whatever, how that works.
I hate how everything could be turned back to music. But
and puts it all behind his music and then says, hey, you have to go here to get this music. And has all those people that go there to get that music. He puts a price on it, whatever, and he takes home all of that money.
That's what Beyonce and Jay-Z did with Tidal, I feel like.
But the reason why I think these are all horrible comparisons is because Drake going indie is different than Jordan Peele going indie or Christopher Nolan going indie.
I know it's different, but I'm just saying, like, the idea of that could possibly be more profitable if they're big enough, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but see, I guess ideally when I thought of the ideal, I don't think you need to be the best of the best. To me, the only way that will work, to me as a movie person or a director to go indie and still do this tour, you have to be huge. I think Christopher Nolan is huge, yes, but I think his hugeness is definitely a crowd, not the world. It's definitely an inward crowd situation. Post Batman and now Tenet, Inception, etc., etc. Drake is the world. Drake is the motherfucking world. So that's different. I feel like,
and it's different with music.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, it just which also about how I feel, just about what I consume in general, being music or TV. That shows a type of egotistical nature that I don't want to support anyway. So you're telling me you're gonna take all your movies off of streaming services, people can enjoy them at their leisure, and you're gonna make me go here, pay this, do that to watch your film? I may love that movie, but to me, I'm just like, why do you want? I don't make things for people, but why would I make something for somebody specific? That's.
See, I think that's
Yeah, see, it's not that. It's not for someone specific, but it's just like, and that's why it's not egotistical. Just because, and I can't really say it so much for movies because that's a whole different medium. But when I look at it for music and music streaming, like, artists lose so much money from music streaming. Like, if let's say an artist puts their album on, what's the service where you can just like buy it? No, like actually like buy it. Like Bandcamp.
Oh, you're talking about buying.
Like, let's say someone puts their album on Bandcamp. The money that they make they could sell less albums on Bandcamp and make more money than streams. And that's the thing about, that's my argument as far as like making music like that. And it's not like, it is less accessible, yes, but it's like, it's more for them. They reap more from it.
But then I guess the question is, I mean, if you're, okay, I guess the question is like, why are you doing this then? If it's just for money, then by all means. But to me,
no, it's not even just for money. It's just about being paid what your stuff is worth.
I don't know. I can see your point. I think this is just coming from the inner child. This may be like a thing for me.
The inner child.
Like, no, for real, because the hoops and things you go through to watch something, to do something, it makes it all worth it. Like, if I'm going, fuck, Jordan Peele sold out. Fuck, Christopher Nolan sold out. Yes, I got the Jordan Peele movie. Mm-hmm. Now, to her point, that's somewhat egotistical. But to me, it's like nah, bro, I really love this nigga, bro. And the ones that do will continue to support him. And now, if it's one show once a year or some shit like that, then okay. But if it's 3-4 shows for a week or something, I feel like it should be realistic is all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying make this a Supreme drop. That's not what I'm saying. But
it's just having like essentially a festival for yourself.
Yeah, and I think that should be a thing moving forward.
I understand that.
Just because I'm a huge person, which you know this, B, and I feel like everybody knows this. I'm a huge person that you don't need to become bigger than you are. If you understand that you're doing great at what you do, don't try to please the masses, which I think Christopher Nolan is a person like that. Mm-hmm. I don't think he will have too much longer of doing these huge movies. I don't think people are going to, like, run to them. We're moving on with these movies. We're just talking about limited series. We're talking about Zendaya. Times are getting ahead of him, essentially. Mm-hmm. So I feel like with people of his mindset, if I said people like him, need to have more of a niche sort of drop. Is there gonna be a different streaming service maybe that he might respect all of a sudden? Maybe. I don't think so. I think it's gonna be like goddamn huge TV. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with that being said and with thinking like that moving forward, if the pandemic everything still continues to move like this, I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes a thing.
But then, so 2 points. One, I do agree because I feel like if Warner Bros. Came to him directly, like, but they went to his production company, so basically he had no choice. Which I understand that reaction. If you basically you give him my art away, without even talking.
Yeah, it's kind of like the.
I understand that, but to me, I'm thinking like I could imagine in the next like looking at this new wave of like real estate, I could see it not being in the norm to have like a TV room, a theater room, because what we're seeing now, you can. To me, there's nothing better. Like I don't think you watch a movie in a theater or at home, depending on how you watch a movie.
This is my argument that
I wasn't done.
Can you go to a concert on the internet?
You can make a concert to a movie?
Yeah. It's not the same for you? It's not an experience? I think this is the disconnect.
No. It's an experience.
You just said you go to a movie you want to fly. I think Travis I think Travis said, look, Mom, I can fly. Did Travis not say that?
She said that an hour ago.
No, she did. She said, I went to a movie so I can fly, so you get the experience.
I said that I want... Okay, you can't take words out of context. I meant the experience I get from the movie. I don't get that by watching with anybody. Watching a movie by itself, I feel that no matter who I'm with. Of course, is it better to enjoy things with other people?
Or no matter where it's at? You feel like that?
You keep
walk
saying
into your living room?
Yeah, you keep saying with people. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just watching it in a huge theater in general. That's what not just people.
I'm not hating it against the theater. Like, of course... Would I prefer it to my, baby ass TV? Of course. Mm-hmm. But I'm saying like I can see myself indulging in a theater room because I know that I want to watch it in this setting. Maybe I don't know how it's going to look in the next 10 years, but in case shit goes left again, I got a theater, And that's just like I could see.
That's being proactive of you.
I mean, I said being a new thing.
I can see it somewhat, especially because TV's not nowhere near expensive as they used to be, but I don't know, man. I just think the reason why I'm comparing it to a concert is just because no matter how much we move forward, there's nothing going to be watching that shit first day it comes out on the big screen.
I agree with that.
Nothing will be being in that front of that stage. Nothing will beat that.
But to your point, we see it now, I think it adds more diversity. Of course, back in the day, if you had to partner with a big production company that had to like your stuff, like you, like your characters, that takes away a lot of people out of the running to make a movie.
You think streaming adds more diversity?
Yeah, now.
Really?
I think it's like, I guess you're saying like for smaller like stuff to kind of like.
I'm just saying that like, would you imagine?
Okay.
Yeah, like.
But that's not.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Well, I'm saying that people like Christopher Nolan, I think, benefited from that old way of producing movies. You had to partner with the big guy.
That's
you had to like your big character. Nowadays, people get discovered Issa Rae, YouTube to something to HBO because they saw her. And because it's smaller, and I don't know if HBO is going to become something different next 10 years, but I really respect what they're doing. Because to me, they're understanding that the person that's creating it needs to be involved every single step of the way.
A little space here. Okay, we're going to end off this episode. Alright, this has been the Too Many Ideas podcast. Like, comment, follow, and subscribe. We're done.